absolutely amazing. And a big thank you to James for putting this on. And we've got some amazing speakers as always. And every single time we have one of these trainings, we always go, that was even better than the last one. That was even better. So we've, they just get better and better. So today's training is called Just Go For It. So I'd love you to put in the chat, are you ready to just go for it? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Who is ready? I want to type away, but I'm talking away, so I'll do it later. So to kick us off, we've got our amazing Sue Worrell. Well, most of us know, and all of us who knows Sue absolutely loves her. She's absolutely incredible. She knows everything about the products. Any question I ever need to ask, I go straight to Sue and she gets straight back with the most amazing answers. So Sue has been in the business for over she's been a nutritionist for over 30 years. She runs clinics in Cardiff and in London, and she's been taking Juice Plus for over 17 years. And Sue is going to talk to us today about our star products. Are you there, Sue?
I am here.
Thank
I
you.
am here and ready to share my screen. Shall I go for it?
Yep.
Okay. Start the presentation. Give it a second. Right, can you all see the screen? Yeah, someone, brilliant, thank you. Okay, hi everyone, and thank you for inviting me again. I really enjoy doing these because I am absolutely passionate about Juice Plus products. 21 years I've been taking them. The day I found them, I signed up as a distributor. Not that I wanted to, but once I heard about the products and I had 10 ladies with me who wanted to do the same, it was a no-brainer. So passionate about the products and love the company. So this is me. This is not to show you how good holidays I've had over the years. This is just to say that when I started taking the products, I'm 75 now, so it's 21 years ago. I was skiing and doing all sorts of things, and my 60th birthday was a free fall parachute jump, and nothing's changed. I don't feel any different. I know I eat well and I exercise, but I know I wouldn't have enough nutrition in my body without Juice Plus. I can't praise it enough. And that is my personal testimonial, that I would not, whatever happened, I would not stop taking it, any of the products. And they all do a different job. But the big thing they all have in common is they all have human body interest at heart, and they are, wherever possible, unfractionated and not ultra processed. So we're in a time when our environment is full of toxins. We've got all these chemicals hitting our bodies on a daily basis. The problem of ultra processed food is one of the biggest threats around now. Even places like Brazil are taking action against the amount of it is advertised. And in the UK, 20% of the population eats 80% ultra processed food. And that is really frightening. What are we doing to our kids? So no matter how we try, we may make time to look after our cars, but do we make enough time to look after our bodies? And the answer is no. No matter how many times we're told, or how much we're told we need fruits and vegetables, we're never eating enough. So if we do fast diets, we cleanse quickly and the toxins circulate our body. All the things that are broken down in fat cells stop being broken down. We feel rubbish. And we put on the weight as fast as we can because our body needs those fat cells. So the Juice Plus company helps us do the whole thing. It helps us be healthier by taking on the whole, I use like the foundation and pillars of health. So the foundation of health is your nutrition, and then exercise, sleep, mindset, and hydration are the pillars of your health. And that's what I've always worked on. And that was my ethics when I started running clinics 30 odd years ago. I don't run clinics anymore. I've closed them down some time ago. London, I closed about 7 years ago. And the local Cardiff clinics, I only take on people who are referred to me now. And I've got an online facility instead that I'm working on every day. I'm making it better and better. And I've just started to open a free membership now for any practitioners or anyone interested in health. So it's for health seekers and health businesses. And if anyone wants to join, I'll send you a link in the future. The website's going up soon. So as I said, we're constantly told we need fruits and vegetables. We know this. There is hundreds and hundreds of research things on fruits and vegetables, research studies that show it has a big impact, a direct impact on all these major problems of health. So what we really need is a foundation of nutrition. This is a Juice Plus slide that says we need 7 to 13. I've been saying 10 to 15 for the last 8 years. The World Health Organization, I think, say 10 to 15. I can't remember. It stopped saying the exact number. But what we do know we want it come from nature's pharmacy with an F, by farmers, not pharmaceuticals with the PH. And when we add in good nutrition in my programs, I put the nutrition in first and then I take out the bad stuff, because if we just add that nutrition in, our body starts to understand what it does, crave it and love it. So today I'm going to concentrate on this just a little bit. This is our flagship product, but it has a problem, and the problem is that it's not an overnight success for us. It is for our body, and our body recognizes it. And if you go to a medical testing center and are able to be tested, they'll tell you, because there's records in the past of some sports people who have said, I don't think it's doing anything. But when they've been tested by their medical trainers, they can see the difference in their blood and their organs. But when we take this product, it takes time. Although it enters our bloodstream straight away, it takes time to make a difference. And that's because of all the fantastic nutrition and the antioxidants. And it is the best anti-aging thing. Never mind your creams and lotions and potions and things you add on or rub on your skin or put in your mouth. This is the best anti-aging product anywhere. So all of these work synergistically, and they are grown in a way that's not using fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides in the fertilizers, and they're grown by local farmers. And with your family living on the farm, why would you put nasty things on? Because your family would be the first to be take that into their body. So you can read all this on the labels, what it's all about, and the magic of it is this pullulan fermented tapioca casein, which is completely vegan and has got a better seal than the old gelatine tablets. The oxygen and moisture seal is mega important because that activates the antioxidants and the active ingredients in the powders, and that's what makes things go off. So any powder that has fruit and veg in it with a lid you take off deteriorates at a rate of knots with the moisture in the air. So our company takes the much more expensive way and the much more careful way of encapsulating those precious powders to keep all the goodness in. And it's got the best SGS institution seal of approval that you can get. So this is all the things that it does is documented in the studies that are done on this product by the top universities in the world. And a few years ago, Juice Plus employed Manfred Lamfreck, who was in charge of the Graz University Research Unit. And he was going to retire, and they employed him to translate between the complicated scientific abstract information and down-to-earth layman terms. And they are brilliant videos. I've pulled them all into the memberships. They're all in one place. They're online, you can find them, but it's much easier if they're all in one place. And that's what I've done for members. So polyphenols, anthocyanins are in things like berries, and it's particularly cranberries. They are really, really, really important. So if any customer cannot afford the whole fruit, veg and veg, the premium, just get them on the berries. Just get them on the berries, and that makes a huge difference before they move on. Really does. And if you see this was a study done many years ago, and it says that it just adding in these polyphenols reduces the reduction of mortality rate by 30%. That is astronomical in scientific terms. So we want all these phytonutrients or phytochemicals that are in this, and these studies, you can look them up. I was with James last week in Constance's amazing conference wasn't it, James? It was just brilliant. She's an amazing lady and has fantastic, powerful, clever ladies in her business. And I forgot to ask Simon to send me the latest info, but on the next time I'll get it from Simon, because there's new info and there are now 40 studies that you can look at, but you can find it. The information will be there between our website and the US website. So Juice Plus has all these studies ongoing, and these are independent studies. An independent study means that you don't say to someone, test and test this until it does what it says in the tin. It's not like that. The university takes it, they've then got charge of it, and whatever they print and find, Juice Plus goes with. And the reason why we're one of the only companies that does this is the other companies don't believe their products can come out on top all the time with the results they want. So these are the latest ones I know of, but as I said, I'll get the newest ones. When I started, I'd worked with a lot of sports people. I took Paralympian to gold and silver medals, and I've worked with a few Paralympians since who've done really well. And we didn't have this informed choice. And the rugby guys I work with and the golfers all wanted this. We've had this for some years now. So this is a fantastic sports certification that we have on our product, and we should be proud to say we've got it. The soft chews that are made from, like you make jam from pectin, they have got sugar in them. But one mum once complained about the sugar with a Mars bar in her hand for her child, and it just made me laugh. So there is sugar in them, but it's the best sugar that they can get in them that will make this pectin, so that it's no good making the best products in the world for children if they will not eat them. So the precious powders are encapsulated inside these amazing soft chews. And you must look up and read about the Healthy Starts study. It used to be called the Children's Health Study, with amazing recorded results. Now, because of GDPR, it's done in a different way, but it is a brilliant study to join and a fantastic way to get Juice Plus to more people in the family. I use the complete range from the beginning, from the first time it came out, and I love it. And the sports people use it in different ways. My golfers that are high-level world touring golfers, they use it, the bars in their golf bag as golf fodder. And then I've got a distributor who uses this in ultra marathons. He used cold soup at the end of the marathons in the Amazon jungle. He did 6 marathons in 8 days. And in Nepal, he did 14 marathons in 17 days using the soup because he liked the taste better. I've just tasted the new one, the Tropic. It's lovely. I thought it might have been a bit pineapple, but it's lovely. It's very mild taste and really nice. And I shall be ordering some this week. So the new flavors are coming out. And the important thing about these products is they've got something called oligosaccharides, and they are a type of sugars. Now, sugar has bad press, and I've written articles about sugar being the devil, but it's like soy and other things. There are 2 kinds of sugar. So oligosaccharides are important sugars, important for our energy systems and other systems. And this is the sugars that contain in the complete. So don't be afraid to have sugars in it, because the fiber in it is so high, it compensates for the sugar, so it's slow release. So I've turned around 16 people from being diabetic to non-diabetic, and not even on the spectrum during the lockdown periods. And every one of them use complete. So don't be afraid of the amount of sugar shown in it. The bars are really good. If you want to know the calorie, that there's a calorific number in there. I don't use calorie numbers. I talk about what's in the calories being more important. But the complete range is really versatile. We are 210. The complete range is very versatile. I use the soups as thickeners in my sauces and things. So I'm not using nasty cornflowers and other thickeners. And with the complete, you can make hundreds of things: pancakes, scones, all sorts of things, and make them for school lunch boxes as well. I don't use the boosters very much myself, but they have their place. Some people who have a lot of weight to lose find that the extra fiber, because this thing is glucomannan, people think it's a pineapple when they see it. It's a root, mostly grown in Japan and places where it's a whole root that is completely made of soluble fiber, And soluble fiber, we know, is mega, mega important for our microbiome, our microbacteria that live mostly in our gut and in our body. Okay, omegas, love the omegas. Don't know why I doubted them when they came out, but I thought I was going to have to take krill as well. I don't. DNA and EPA is plenty. We need omegas for our heart, brain, and eyes. And with all the toxins we have in our bodies, and the way even our fish farming now, it's losing its omega-3. It's really important that, especially as we age, we add it in. So the amounts of DHA and EPA, as you can see, are really good. I actually take 3 a day because I'm older and I feel I need a bit more. And there's 2 very, very important things about this. Their source of omega-3 comes from something called schizoquinone, which is the ancient and original way of finding omega-3 and the purest way. And it's what the fish eat to get their omega-3, and it can be grown outside our oceans. So this means that we don't disrupt our oceans, that we're not even actually taking the krill and the fish out. We're not only not doing that, we're not even disrupting the oceans. It's expensive to grow, it's not cheap, but it's high quality. And that's what Juice Plus use. They always use the best quality. As someone said in a talk recently, only the best need apply. So fantastic, love the omegas. And the other thing about them is that they are in the same Pullinan capsule. And this capsule was made for Juice Plus, the company who makes the capsule. Juice Plus actually asked them, and they did their research and made this capsule for Juice Plus. And when they just about made it, that Juice Plus then said to them, now we want you to be able to put oil in it. And that was like really unheard of, because when you seal oil in a capsule, it has to be high heat sealed. That's why a lot of the oils are in bottles or not in capsules, because when you heat seal it, you can damage the oil. So they made this capsule and they made it to contain oils as well. And the seal is perfect, and it's got this special little bubble in it. So you know it hasn't been exposed to high heat. So that oil is guaranteed to be undamaged. Uplift is my drug of choice now. It's definitely my drug of choice. I have it every day. Occasionally I have it twice a day. I don't get the awful caffeine feeling. I love coffee, but don't drink it much at all because it makes me shaky. But the caffeine that's from yerba mate is different, and it's grown specifically for us. And it's the actual plant. It's not the yerba mate tea that you might read about. It's the actual plant. So it has no risk. It's completely healthy. It contains all the B vitamins. I won't go and read them through. You can research them yourself, but they're all mega important, particularly for women's health, particularly for teens and in menopause, really need it. And the great thing about it is that it lasts the whole day. So I found it in lockdown when I was doing later meetings, and you'll find that if you've got evening meetings, your brain keeps alert. Need that as you're older, believe me. So exercise, I've always been involved in sport and still do a lot with sport. I'm working now with a trick basketball player who is doing a remarkable recovery from being really, really near death's door. So we know that HIIT exercise 3 times a week makes a difference. And we know that this makes a big difference to cardiovascular health. And you need protein and carbohydrate mixture, but you definitely need protein to put in after exercise, and also some before as well. And this new Perform is amazing. It's made completely from soy. So if you can't tolerate soy, then it's not for you. But as I said, with the omegas, the soy is a different, and the oligosaccharides, the soy is a different animal to the cheap soy you see in bars and drinks and all sorts of things. It is grown pristinely, not genetically modified, cold water washed, and this strange protein thing that's in there is removed by a sort of microwave steam thing, because that's the protein that doesn't do us good sometimes. So our soy is grown specifically in this way. And when Juice Plus found that, they did this some years ago, and it's been modified ever since. And it is an amazing process. So our soy is top notch. And the thing about soy is it contains all the 222 amino acids we need to build up. And so far, the research has shown something brilliant for us ladies, and that is that it has been shown to produce better collagen than taking collagen tablets. Most of the collagen tablets people take for beauty are made from pig's collagen. So I combine all this in the program I use, which is called Thrive 25. And I combine all of these. And this is what the Juice Plus company does. And that's why I love it so much, is they combine all of these and encourage this and give us recipes. And the new websites are better and better and improving all the time. So I make little booklets, and if you want to join the free thing, just get in touch, and the website will be out in the first week of September, and I'm making a new free membership for anyone who wants the info. So that's all the projects. If anyone's got any questions, you're feel free to message me in the chat. Thank you very much. That's me.
Thank you so much, Sue. Absolutely incredible as always. Can you all please put a big thank you in the chat for Sue, and also just put your top takeaway for what you learned from her today. I mean, for me, I just absolutely love how you just break down like the absolute quality of Juice Plus. We all know how amazing it is, but when Sue tells us, don't we all feel really proud of what we put in our bodies every single day? I've been taking Juice Plus for 8 years now, and I absolutely love how it makes me feel. I mean, I used to be the kind of person, I was always lacking energy, feeling like I needed an afternoon nap, even though I couldn't because I was busy, falling asleep at 8 o'clock when I was reading stories to my daughter. And but I thought I was healthy, and I started taking the shakes and the capsules to start off with, the premium capsules. And I just couldn't believe the amount of energy that they started to give me, like straight away, like within the first couple of days. And, you know, 8 years on, I feel like I'm the Duracell bunny. I'm full of energy all the time. And now, of course, I've added the, you know, uplift every day, and you know, have a shake for my breakfast. I've got it all here. And I'm just addicted to how great, you know, the products make me feel. And the capsules, I absolutely love, knowing that I'm putting, like what Sue was saying, that all that quality nutrition in my body every single day. But, you know, I used to always be getting colds and, you know, sick days and things like that. But apart from a very mild dose of COVID, which I think most people kind of got, and even if you didn't know you had, I wouldn't have known I had if I hadn't have tested. But I haven't had one day sick since I started taking the products, not one cold, not one, you know, sick day, absolutely nothing. So I'll be forever grateful for what they've done for me. And also Gemma, my daughter, she's been taking them for 8 years. She started, I think, when she was about 6, and she's now 14, and she hasn't had one day sick since she started. And children get them free for 4 years as well. So I'll always be forever grateful for what they've done for me and my whole family. And if you haven't started taking the products really seriously, you know, look into them. And also, if you are on the products, which I think most of us are, put in the chat like your benefits, because I mean, you know, we've all got the most amazing stories to tell. So that's me for now, and I think Sara is going to take over for Sara, are you there?
I sure am. Good morning, everyone. Hi, hope you're well. Thank you so much, Sue and Paula. Sue, I could honestly just listen to you about the products all day, every day, and every single time that I do, I take away so much more knowledge. So thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday call. And well done, everyone, getting on, especially all the parents in the school holidays who have still managed to get on the call today. Pat on the back to us. So I am going to be introducing our next speaker. His name is Jesko Westphalen, and I've probably pronounced that wrong, so please forgive me. He is 22 years old, and he's a National Marketing Director, Club 12. He has been with Juice Plus for 4 years. And he was introduced to the business by his cousin when he was working and travelling in New Zealand in 2018. And he then turned work and travel into network and travel. And he's now on a mission to build an international business, especially in Switzerland, Austria, Germany, and Scandinavia. And he's going to be talking to us today about creating the mindset for success.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you, James, for the invitation to have the chance to speak here to you. So be kind to me because I'm German. I'm not English speaking that well. So I will give my best, but be kind. All right. So James told me to to say some words about creating the right mindset for success. First of all, I think it's very important to have or to make sure why it's important. Set your mind for success is like a navigation system for your success. You know, if you want to become successful, you need to know where you want to go. And at the other hand side, it's like an insurance for you when time become tough. All right, so when time gets hard and it's maybe a down phase in your business right now, then it's like an insurance right now. So what is the mindset? I think in English it's very specific. It's to set your mind. And we have the subconscious, which makes about 95% of all our life. And we have the conscious, which makes the other 5%. And I think it's very important to focus on the things we can control. So I will talk to you about the conscious mind, because the subconscious mind is very tricky. So how can we do it? So imagine like you're driving a car. The most of the people thinking the conscious is driving the car and the subconscious is the co-pilot sitting next to it. But it's the other way around. The subconscious is driving the car and we, the conscious, are sitting next to it and just talking to him or her or whatever. So I think it's a good way, because if we are the co-pilot and we are working with the navigation system, we can put the right focus on our minds to be on the good things, you know. So yes. So I have some notes here, so I have to read a little bit. Yeah, so we can navigate with our conscious, our subconscious in a certain direction. Yes. So who wants some tips for your everyday life to increase your mindset? Put a 1 in the chat. All right. Great, great, great. So first of all, breathe. Okay, breathe, because the most people are so hard on themselves and they are like beating themselves up every day, every minute, every hour. So first of all, breathe. All right, it's a journey. It's all cool. You have time. It's everything okay. And yeah, so remember that the most important thing is to stop the bullshit, sorry for this word, the bullshit which is coming in your mind, you know, because the most people are like, I need some good stuff on my mind, but there's maybe half an hour a day with positivity and 8 hours to 16 hours of bad vibes every day. So that won't work. So first of all, number 1 rule is just to stop the bullshit which sinks into your mind and your subconscious. All right, that's the first one. So when you're complaining, overthinking, or being afraid of not becoming successful or whatever, I have a really, really cool 1-minute tip you can do everywhere at any time. Okay, so just tell yourself loudly or write down 5 things you're proud of. 5 things. I'm proud of being here and speaking today in English, which is a little bit challenging for me. I'm proud of me to become an NMD the last 4 years. I'm proud of me, so on, so on, so on. All right, so that's a very, very great exercise for you. Or when you're an angel, so sometimes if you're in this business and you have a team, you may be an angel because whatever, a person quit or yeah, your team is complaining, the business is not working as you want. And then I think it's really, really, really important to tell yourself loudly or write down 5 things you're grateful for. What are you grateful for? Every day. So I'm doing this every day. And sometimes when I'm angry, friends of mine are just telling me, Jesko, what are you grateful for? And then I will start. One, I'm grateful for, and trust me, sometimes you will be angry and it's like, ah, come on, stop it, but it's working. So just try it, give it a try. Yeah. So the second tip is be aware of who you're listening to, or who you're surrounded by. It's so important. And I think everybody will hear this 1,000 times. Yeah. Who are your 5 friends? I will show you your future. Who know this sentence, this quote? Everybody. Everybody. Great. So, but this is one of the most important, and the very best would be if you just stick together with your upline or mentor and be his or her shadow for 6 months straight. I was a shadow of my cousin Finn, my upline, for 6 or 7 straight months. I was like, he was sitting down, I was sitting down. He was standing up, I was standing up. He was laughing, I was laughing. I was copying everything. Why? Because it worked. It worked. And you don't need to understand it. You can just copy it, copy and paste. The whole life is copy and paste. Does anyone hate copy and paste? Yes? The whole life is copy and paste. Imagine when you have been a baby, you was just looking at your parents. What were they doing? They was walking around. Oh, if they are walking, I can walk as well. If they are speaking, I can speak as well. So the whole life is copy and paste every day. The whole life is copy and paste. So what is important, or why is it important to stick around the right person or your upline, your mentor? It's because you don't know what you don't know. Right? You don't know what you don't know. And that's the problem, because the things we don't know are killing our dreams. That's it. So it's so important to be around your upline and your mentors to become more awareness of the people, of the things you don't know. So then you can learn them and teach them other people. All right. And I think some of you will now say, yeah, Jesko, I would like to stick around James or Ross, Ola and Ross or Sara or whatever, but I don't have the chance to. Imagine when I have started my business, I was over in New Zealand in 2018. There was nobody, not my upline, not my mentor, nobody. But I was staying in the Zoom calls. Nowadays, we have always the chance to hop on Zoom calls every day, working with them. And very important, who are you listening to? So I was working, I was working 60 hours a week with, I think it was only women around 60 years or older, so not really my age. And they were all like complaining, and yeah, it was awful. But I was putting up on some good music or some podcast and everything and listening to. So my best mentors in my life, they don't even know me. My best mentors don't even know me because I was just listening to them. All right. So that's really, really, really important. That's a big one. And so I really recommend like podcasts or YouTube. And in Germany, we have a YouTube account. It's called Creator. And nowadays it's a little bit of English as well. So if you want to look it up, that's the name. I really love it. I watch every video. So it's a very good one. Maybe in UK, you have some others. I don't know. Yes. And another big one is music. Which music are you listening to? Which music are you listening to? Because some people are listening to music that make them feel thinking about the past or feel whatever good. But I would say they don't really feel good. I think they feel comfortable. But is this music really fitting your dreams? That's the question. Because in Germany, I don't know very much about English rap, but in Germany we have some singers. They are like, it's like music for warriors. Yeah, so don't give up, just do it. Life is hard. You can't trust anybody and everything like this. So lots of people love this music, but what's the problem about it? The problem about it is you will start to think the same way. I can't trust anybody. Life is hard. Everything is hard. It's not fun. It's just working out, everything. So it will be very, very hard for you if you start thinking like this. So you have to start to listen to good vibes, high energy music, which will make you smile, and you will be in a good mood and just having fun with other people. All right. So that's a really, really big one. Which music are you listening to? Yes. And the third one is compliment as many people as possible. All right. Compliment as many people as possible, but honest compliment. All right. It's really, really important. It must be from your heart. But why is it a good way to start your mindset, your right mindset? First of all, people will love you and remember you for this. All right. You always remember the people which complimented you in the past. Every day I was thinking about some people when I met them at the first convention I have been to, and they just complimented me. So it was incredible. Second one, your subconscious can't diversify if you're speaking to other people or to yourself. Ooh, big one. So if I'm saying, James, you look beautiful today, my subconscious don't know if I'm talking to James or to me. All right. So every time I give a compliment to another person, it's for me as well. So it's a great way. And your subconscious is soaking it up and you will feel better. And this third one is you only can see what's in yourself as well. All right. So if I'm saying, James, you're a beautiful leader, then I only can say this and see this because it's in myself as well. And that's a big one. Okay, so thanks for having me today. I'm more than grateful to share some of my experience from the last 4 years, and hope that one or two can maybe learn something or had a breakthrough or whatever. And always remember, it's all about energy, and the higher energy wins always.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so big on mindset and self-development, so I absolutely love that. And guys, do you want to pop your top takeaways in the comments? Some of mine were obviously gratitude every single day, and being aware of who you're surrounding yourself with is obviously huge. Podcasts I am obsessed with, and then the complimenting people too. It was strange because I was listening to something from Tony Robbins, and he said one of the things that he does every single morning before he does anything else is send out a genuine compliment to someone that he works with or someone that you know. So thank you so much for all of your tips. And have you got a guest speaker, Jesko? You've got someone coming on as well? Is it Luke?
Yes.
Yeah.
So should I introduce him a little bit?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So the next speaker will be one of my greatest leaders of my team. So it's Lucas. He's 28 years old, nearly in the business for 2 years right now. And he will share his story with you. Yes. So have fun.
Thank you, guys. Nice to be here. Nice to see you all. And as Jesko, I'm from Germany too, so my English is not the best. It's not the yellow from the egg, as we say in Germany. So I'm Lucas. I'm 28 years old, and I'm living in Hamburg in Germany with my girlfriend and with our little son Felix. He's 7 years old, and I'm doing this gift that we all have beside my full-time job in a sales office. And yeah, I think we all know this feeling. And I can tell you, 2 years ago, before I heard about this, I was very unhappy because I think the most of you know it. If you work in a 9 to 5 and you really work your ass off and you're doing much and great work, most times it's all you get is more work. It's not more money. It's not more free time. It's not a thank you. It's just more work. And that was really hard for me because it was always the same in different jobs. I did a lot of jobs in different cases, and it was always the same. I just did more work, but I didn't even get more money. I didn't even have money for any travel or any trips for over 6 years. And yeah, I was just broke. I did not get any honor. I was unhappy. I had a community. I had friends that rather put me down than put me up. And then 2 years ago, I heard about this class, and it definitely changed everything for me, because I got SSC within 7 months. So I got paid fair for everything I did. So I had the money now for any trips. My first trip was to Dubai with some people of our team. It was so stunning for me. It was such an amazing feeling to go to a trip after over 6 years. And now I'm actually a Q&D, and I earn as much as in my full-time job, and I travel at least 3 to 5 times a year. So it definitely changed my life. So, but the best thing and the best part for me is that I found new friends, I found a new community, I found a new family here through Choose Plus, and I had already so much magic moment with them. So I'm absolutely grateful for this level up, for this lifestyle change, and I think our community is so stunning for me. You know, it was yeah. It's not here to put someone down. It's always I'll help you, I get you up, I will push you through. And this is why my goal is to build up a team with thousands of partners to show them this our gift that we have, so they can level up to full potential and live the lives they really deserve. Thank you.
Oh, Lucas, thank you so much for that. That was amazing. I love what you say about the Juice Plus community. I mean, it is more than just a business. It's a lifestyle. It's the whole community. And as you say, it's so uplifting. Everyone is just up for building you up all the time. So thank you so much, guys. You've been absolutely incredible. And thank you, Jesko, as well. I really love that as well. I'm going to be putting all the, the saying the thank yous, the compliments and all that into practice as well. So thanks so much. Where are you? Are you in Germany?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
we're near to Hamburg right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay, pleasure. So now we've got our amazing Sara. You've already seen her this morning. Sara is an LMD in the business, and she has been in the business for over four and a half years, and she works the business around full-time around her 2 gorgeous children. And she's going to be talking today about working the marketing plan to make money. Sara, are you back?
I am back. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paula. So I'm going to apologise in advance. I'm feeling a little bit excited today. I've had my uplift this morning and I've been writing my notes, and there's loads. So get your pens and papers ready. I'm going to be going really quickly, and I hope that you find it helpful. So I am going to be talking to you about how to work the marketing plan to make money. Who wants to make more money? So we get paid to do 3 things in our business. This is not mine. This is from Jeff Roberti. We get paid to bring in new customers, we get paid to bring in new team members, and we get paid to put on events. So are you doing those 3 things? Pop some comments in. And if you are not, then why are you not? So we need to keep it simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. And I'm going to break each one of those down and give you my top tips on them. So the first one is how to bring in new customers. Now, a lot of this for me comes down to building interaction on your social media. Obviously, I'm coming from my point of view. I build my business mainly on social media. Some people might do it more offline, but this is just from me. So it's not necessarily about how many likes you get on your posts or how many views, but the more interaction you have on your page and the more views that you get and the more people that see your posts are going to be the potential clients and your potential team members. So how do we build interaction on our social media? This is going to take time, and we need to be patient and we need to be consistent. But if you do all of these things for 30 days, I think your interaction on your social media will definitely grow. And you can pop me a message and let me know as well at the end of the 30 days. And as I said, I only ever share what's working well for me. So these are the things to do daily to boost your interaction. Number 1, and it's one of the ones that everyone's afraid of, nobody really wants to hear, but it is the live videos. Who loves live videos? Who hates them? Who does them regularly? I can see everyone's faces sort of like hiding, cameras going off. This is the best way to grow interaction on your social media, and you need to be consistent with them. Just a little story for you. When I first started, I suffered really bad with my mental health, with depression, with anxiety. The thought of doing a live video for me was horrifying. But I got to the stage, this was when the live videos first really came out, and I got to the stage and I thought, I have to overcome this fear. I have to tackle this. Otherwise, my business might not grow. So I set myself a challenge to do a live video every day for 90 days. And that's from someone who had never done a live video. But I'd done it every day for 90 days and I did overcome that fear. So just a little tip for anyone who wants some advice. Now, you can get your kids involved in these. Some people are so hesitant and say, you know, my house is always crazy. It's the school holidays. You know, my kids don't give me a minute's peace. But I always get the most interaction on my videos where my kids are crazy and they are spilling the ingredients and driving me mad to make them a shake, because that's what people want to see, is you and your real life. And people want to get to know you, and people are going to buy from you when they know, like, and trust you. And those live videos are going to really speed up that process. So set yourself a goal, even if you're like, I'm not doing one a day, I'll do one a week, whatever it is. Set yourself a goal and stick to it. And then number 2 is to add new people on your social media every single day. Again, who's doing this? Pop some comments in. Who's adding new people on your social media every day? Amazing. Now, the way I do this, and it might be some people frown upon it, some people are like, I do more targeted adding. For me, I go through and I add 30 people 3 times a day. When I first started, I could add 250 people. That's what I used to have on my DMO, 250 people every day. And obviously, as we know, Facebook now sort of puts a block on things like that. So I add 30 people 3 times a day, 20 to 30 people. And that's obviously doing it in bulk. And you need to remember, out of those people, you might only get 1 in 10 that accept, or 2 in 10, or 3 in 10. So that's not a lot of new people that you're getting on your page every single day. Now, obviously, there is the more targeted adding that you can do. You can go into groups, you can build relationships, which is all well and good, but I'm a very busy mum, so I want to do things quickly. And then if I've got time left at the end of the day, then I'll go through and I'll add more targeted people. Number 3 is to blog your life. What are you up to? Where are you going? What are you doing? And use your Facebook or your Instagram, whatever it is, your journal. And number 4 is to follow your likes, which means just in the evening, I just go through and I just pop anyone a message who has liked or commented on anything on my page. And I just say, thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. Doesn't take long at all. It's a copy and paste message. People love it when you say thank you. They're going to come back onto your page and they're going to interact more. And then I spend 10 minutes a day interacting on other people's posts, you know, likes, comments, you know, congratulations, whatever it is. And again, they're going to come back over to your page. Number 6 is happy birthdays. Again, just nice to be nice. Like Jesko said, just sending out those compliments. Happy birthday, have a lovely day. And then number 7 for me is doing dinner videos. I'm sure I've probably spoken about these on the call before, but I get a lot of my customers from doing dinner videos. They don't take long. I'm cooking dinner anyway, so I may as well go live. I do my little 5-minute meals. And this is all about giving that extra added value. Do something that nobody else is doing and give something to people for free. I get so many people who like my meals and they say, oh my God, I didn't know you could eat food like that. I thought you guys lived on shakes. My customers love them. And that I get really good response from them. So there's some top tips on building interaction, and you have to do these consistently. And when I do them consistently, my interaction and my new client retention goes through the roof. Now, other things for getting new clients, obviously sort of the ones that you've probably heard loads of before, is to show that you are on plan. Show that you're being a product to the product every day. And, you know, you could do things like share your workouts. Like if you have a look on my page, when I do my workouts in the morning, I'll do some little clips, or even if you've been for a walk or a swim or whatever it is, share that on your page. You can do little videos of you doing the product and try to be creative with it as well. A lot of people, obviously, you know, you can go and make your shake every day, but why not do a smoothie bowl? Why not do a sorbet? Why not make the pancakes? Why not make some waffles? And, you know, just bring it to life a little bit. Just a random top tip, I'm getting so much interaction from the frozen sorbet bowls at the moment. It's summer, it's hot, people are like, oh my God, what is that? Show me more. And then share other people's results. Sorry, I hope I'm not going too fast and vomiting over you. I told you there was going to be a lot today. But sharing other people's results once a day, and then sharing your results. Like Paula was saying to you earlier, this is how I feel, this is what the products have done for me. You need to do that every day as well. And then in the middle of that, every now and then, you can be doing your direct sales posts. So something like the Shape Challenge, if you have a look on my page, I posted it last night, I think. I always get a really great response from that. It's, you know, it could be something like who needs more energy. You know, if you're not sure what a direct post is, just go to Upline. I'm sure they'll be able to give you some. And then lastly, on the customers, is to be in your inboxes. Do not wait for people to come to you. Don't post and pray. You need to be messaging people and interacting with them. Just be consistent and have faith. The results will come. It might take time. But if you are someone, and this is just me being deadly honest, if you're someone who does all of these things for 1 week and then takes 2 weeks off and, you know, has that little, actually, I'm, you know, busy, I'm not going to do any work, your business is going to be so up and down. And it's almost like all that hard work that you've been doing to build that interaction on your page was pointless. So be consistent with it. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. Okay, number 2, what time is it? Number 2, bringing in team members. Now, the first one on this is to look after your clients. Amazing customer care. Your clients will make the best team members. So ways you can do this: you can have a broadcast list, you can have a WhatsApp group. Obviously, you have your support page. You can do regular check-ins, weekly check-ins. You can send out the recipes. You can do the dinner videos. You can send the links to the dinner videos. And also encourage your clients to share their own results on their page, their products, stuff like that. I always, when I check in with my clients, I say, oh, is it all right if I tag you in a well done post? And then what that does, when I tag them, all of their friends see it and they're commenting on the post saying, oh my God, that's amazing. How did you do this? So they're already building their confidence and their potential client base as well. And then you can go in and you can approach them about the business. You're using the products, you're seeing amazing results. Why not join the business and get paid for it? It's going to make your products 10% cheaper. And also, although it costs £50 to start your franchise, the first promotion comes with an £80 bonus plus commission. That's going to give you your sign up feedback, and it's also going to help you pay for your products. So that's the first top tip. And then number 2 is to share business daily. This is something I have on my new DMO that I've been using for a couple of months, and it's really, really been working well for me. So when I say share the business, small, mine, large, that's what I have on my DMO. Now, small success means things like, oh, I've just managed to fill my car up, or I'm going to do my food shop, or I'm taking the kids for fun days out during the school holidays. I'm doing that with my Juice Plus wages. So, you know, like little things like I haven't had to sort out any childcare through the summer holidays. Whatever it is, that's what I would call a small win from the business. And then my success might be, here is where I was before Juice Plus, and here is where I am right now. And then large success is things like you might go on to Tamilla's page, or you might search for someone who's a PMD in the business. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, school holidays, mum. Large success might be, you see my mum face there, didn't you? Large success might be something like, I don't know, Carly Pearce is just about to get keys for her new house that she's bought with her £50 business. So something like that. You always be looking out for them. You can search for them, look on other people's pages, and make sure you're sharing that every single day. Now, I'm very passionate about the products and the plans because they've done so much for me. So sharing the products and the lifestyle comes easy to me. So I have to be very conscious of actually make sure you're sharing the business. And since I've added that to my DMO, I'm getting really good interaction and a good response as well. You can also be doing things like star qualifier posts, PB posts. You can do the leadership retreat post. You could go onto Tamilla's page and see who's qualified for a promotion last month. You can congratulate them. You can do, like I said, well done everyone who's qualified for the leaders retreat so far. People need to look at your page and know that you are building a business and you are recruiting. And just a little challenge for you, go onto your page, scroll through the past few days. Would you know that you're looking for new business partners? Quite quite a scary one to do that sometimes, isn't it? But would you know that you're actually recruiting if you looked onto your page? And then the last one with recruiting is to be in your inboxes. And again, I'm so guilty of this, and it's the past few months that I've put all of these things into place, and my recruiting is going back up again. So I really hope these work well for you too. Now, with your messages, this could be a range of different things. So you could be messaging people saying happy birthday. That's just building those relationships. You could be following your likes and story views, like I said earlier. Now, what I've been doing, it might be controversial. Some people are very much like, we don't do that. We don't do cold messaging. I have been. And I'm only giving you advice on what I've been doing and what's working well for me. So what I've done, I downloaded my Facebook friends list. I've got it on my laptop. It's very easy to do. Don't ask me how. One of my team members showed me. I can pop it in the comments later. But I downloaded it and I put it on my laptop, and I've been working my way through it, and I'm messaging 50 people per day at least. And it's a very polite message that I'm sending. It just says, hi, I love your page. I love your content. I'm not sure if you've seen what I do, but I've built an amazing business on social media over the past 6 years. Would you be open to taking a look? No worries at all if not. I think it's very nice. It's very polite. It's not pushy. I think I've been doing this for a few months, and I've only had 2 people that were not very nice, 1 person who blocked me, but overall that's not a bad ratio. And I've always been very worried to do this, and I understand it's not for everyone, it is a personal decision. But I actually had another national marketing director who came to me a while ago and said, well, how many messages are you sending a day? And I was like, well, none. And she was in shock. So since then, I implemented this. I'm getting a really great response. I'm getting at the moment maybe 2 or 3 out of 10 that are saying, yes, please, can you send me some more info? That's 10 to 15 people a day that are saying to me, yeah, please send me some more information on the business. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And I'm then adding them into my prospect book. And then you need to make sure every day I have my hot list, and I go through and I interact and I'm commenting on their page. And that's just me saying, hi, I'm still here. Hello. Just giving them that little polite reminder. And just remember that recruiting takes time, like with the sales as well, like with new customers. So be patient, be consistent, and make sure you're sharing the opportunity daily. Because when you do message people, the first thing they're going to do is come and look at your page. Now, when they do that and come and look on your page, just imagine what they're going to see. They're going to see all of these small business posts, these large businesses posts. They're going to see all your lovely live videos, and it's like a wheel. All these things work together. You're building interaction, you're adding new people, you're posting about business, you're sending the messages, and that is the wheel for success on how you're going to start making more money in your business. Last but not least is the events. How long have you been in the business? Proper comment in. Have you hosted your own event? If not, why not? So what are your events going to do for you? They're going to bring your team together. They're going to grow your confidence. They're going to build your knowledge. They're going to advertise the business. You're going to create content. There is so many benefits. I done my first event when I'd been in the business for a week. It was in my house, and the pictures still make me laugh. It was a really good try. I put all Prosecco out and flyers and products and stuff, and I think there was like 4 people, my mum and my neighbour and me, but it was good practice, and I learned lots about the products because I'd done the presentations. And my neighbour that turned up, her daughter actually ended up joining my team. So there you go. And she's still in my business as well. So these events could be coffee meets, mummy meets, training days. We're doing a little sports day in a couple of weeks, the team, park meetups, opportunity events. But you just have to step out of your comfort zone. That's when you're going to grow, and that's when amazing things are going to happen, and it's going to take your business to the next level. So choose what type of event you want to do. Secure your venue and a date if it's more like an opportunity event. Secure your speakers, reach out to people, get a flyer ready and advertise and invite all your potentials. Ask your upline and your team for support and get your team involved. You can delegate, you're doing the product presentation, you're doing the business presentation. That's going to make them grow as well and step out of their comfort zone. You're going to have fun, you're going to get content, and obviously you're going to invite your potentials along as well, and they get easier and easier. I promise you, my first event I was petrified. I had a lot of Prosecco that night as well, which I probably shouldn't say, whereas now I can do an event and I don't need it. So they do get a lot easier, and it's just like, but you know, like with anything, first time's going to be hard, it's going to get a lot easier. So I know that was a lot of info to take in today, but I hope that's giving you some top tips on how to make money in your business. Remember, clients, team, events, keep it simple, stay consistent. And what you do now will show up in 90 days' time. So the work you do this summer is going to determine how much money and what income you're making this winter and at Christmas. So do not make the mistake of taking your foot off the pedal this summer. You will regret it. The new year is around the corner. Put the work in now and set yourself up for an amazing new year and a mega big promotion in January 2023. And last but not least, Jeff Roberti and Natalie Young, one thing that they said last year that really got to me and really fired me up, they do not treat the 1st of January as the new year. They treat the 1st of September as the new year, and that's when they go in all guns blazing, and that's why they have incredible success in the new year. Get to work now and start getting ready your September campaign. It's such a big month for us. You know, the back to school shred, get your health back. Everyone's going to be feeling bloated and lethargic and run down after the summer holiday. So get to work now, advertise it, do a countdown, and I wish you all the very much success with that. I hope that was enough. And really quickly, I've got a very special speaker who is our lovely Lucy, who is just doing absolutely incredible, and she's going to come on for 2 minutes to share her testimonial with us. Hopefully. Are you on, Lucy? If you are, you just need to unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Huh? We can. Hello.
So very last minute and very quick, so I'll be quick. But so I joined 3 years ago, and I was in a very dark place. Didn't know about Juice Plus network marketing, but I was, like I said, I was in a dark place, and my drinking was quite bad. And then I joined Juice Plus with Ella, who you mentioned just there. Got on the shakes. I'm actually on all the products because I actually love them all. Like the Amigas, I just absolutely love. But for me, it's been about the self-development side of things, because I was in such a dark place. The self-development, the community of the women, the ladies I surround myself with, they just inspire and support me and each other. It's just incredible to give you that self-belief. And to really work on your mindset has been massive for me, because you know, I decided to go on a sobriety last March, and I've hit 17 months now sober, because of this business, because of the self-development, the empowerment that the women give, the events, everything about it I just love, the confidence. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous, but I just find it, I just love it. I love everything about it, and I'll never leave. And I'm eternally grateful, to be honest, because I just don't know where I would be without it, honestly. I started a yoga teacher training course as well. I just feel incredible and empowered. And yeah, that's it.
Lucy, you are absolutely amazing. When I hear your story and what the business has done for you, honestly, it gives me goosebumps and it makes me feel emotional and teary. So huge congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing that with us today. We love you. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a deep breath, but I am going to introduce our next speaker. She is absolutely incredible. I'm sure most of you know her. It's Kelly Quick. She's a qualified national marketing director. She was a Juice Plus customer in November 2020, and she fell in love with products, and within 3 weeks she joined the business. At the time of joining, she was trying to save a previously owned traditional style business that was struggling during the pandemic. And she was also holding down a full-time temporary call centre job she needed to supplement her income that was lost from her business, all whilst juggling a 3-year-old during lockdown, which doesn't sound. Kelly quickly became obsessed with the evening calls and helping people. She got consistent with her DMO, and she hit SSC in 5 months. After attending her first event in Harrogate, October 2021, she came away super inspired after listening to Simon Bowler. she devised a 90-day game plan and she put it into action. And 90 days later, she was qualified national marketing director. So she is going to be talking to us about creating an effective 90-day game plan. Welcome, Kelly.
Morning, lovely. Okay, can you hear me all right?
Perfect.
Thank you for having me on. These calls that I've watched them throughout the whole of my 21 months in the business and love them. So it's very surreal to be here talking to you this morning. So thank you for having me. I hope you were taking loads of notes when you were listening to Sara, because basically I'm going to be talking to you about 90-day plans and how you can get them started, implement them and see them through to the end and achieve amazing results at the end. But Sara's just given you all of the inspiration that you need to apply every single day across those 90 days. So if you didn't take enough notes, you probably need to go back, because she gave you so much content, and listen to it all again. I've got arm ache from taking notes, so definitely go back and listen, because it's really going to help you. So as Sara said, I'm a QNMD in the business. I achieved it in January, and it was off of the back of Harrogate. So if you haven't been to events before, you need to get to events. They are so, so important. And it doesn't matter whether it's like the big conferences, try and get to the smaller ones in between, because they have been critical to my journey getting to the event. So as Sara said, I hit SSC in April. I joined the business November 2020. I got to SSC by April 2021. And every single month after that, for 6 months building up to Harrogate, whenever I had my one-to-one with my mentor and she'd say, what are we going for this month? I'd say, QNMD, it's happening this month, I'm going to do it. Then it didn't happen, and I'd get a little bit closer, but not where I needed to be. And, you know, when you get to like month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, you start to feel a little bit disheartened. And so I got to Harrogate, and they always say, like, there's something that's going to resonate with you, that you're going to take something away and it's going to change and propel your business. And for me, it was something that I've heard before, and it was quite simple, really. And it had come from Simon Bowler. And he basically said that you need to step into a position before you reach that position officially and gain the title. And he also said, if you want more, you need to do more, which when you think about it, it's quite obvious. But I think I got stuck in a rut of being consistent. So I'd constantly heard about the need to be consistent in your business. And actually I'd done really well, and I was really proud of the consistency that I'd implemented, and I'd stopped doing more. And with the whole concept of you need to step into a position before you become that position, I didn't quite understand it before. I'd heard it, but I'd not really placed that much focus on it. So when I left Harrogate, I went and spoke to people that were QNMD and above, and I asked them what they did at the time that they went for QNMD and NMD, so that I could implement some of that and take that away with me. And I also looked at the 90-day plan and what that actually looked like. Now, for me personally, I've been in the business for around 21 months now. I've touched my business every single day. I've never, ever had a day off. And so I've been consistent. But something that I know that I've heard John Holowati say a few times before is that, like, you're never going to have a 10 out of 10 day every single day, but never have a 0 out of 10 day. And when I looked at like my days, I was probably averaging maybe like between a 3 out of 10 day and a 7 out of 10 day. So I made it my goal that I would focus on having between 7 out of 10 days and 10 out of 10 days over my 90-day duration. Sorry, I'm just having a look at my notes here. Now, something that I knew that I was before I found this business, I was a serial procrastinator. And I would do lots of the nice tasks that were sat within my comfort zone. More so than some of the tasks I knew were going to get results, because they meant having to come out of my comfort zone and step into that fear zone before it became a comfort. And so one of the things that I would spend a lot of time doing, especially doing something like a 90-day plan, I'd go and get lovely new stationery, I'd get lovely new highlighters, beautiful stickers, maybe a wall chart. I might even go all out and have a spreadsheet that's colour coordinated with drop downs and filters. I don't know if that resonates with anybody. My 90-day plan was a scrap of paper from, like, you know, like your reams of paper that you get for your printer. I got a ruler and put some grids on it. I had Monday through to Friday, and then I took all of the points that Sara's just shared with you and I mapped them across Monday to Sunday. so that I knew Monday through to Sunday, I had varied content across the duration of my week. I didn't overwhelm myself, so I made sure that it was an achievable list of content. And I also allowed myself to have some flexibility because, you know, we had amazing months across those 90 days where I needed to squeeze in all the celebration of my team and lots of sales, and I wanted to fit in thank yous and different things. And like, obviously it's really important we integrate our personal life into that content as well. So when you're creating your 90-day plan and you're mapping out what you're going to do Monday through to Sunday, make sure that you know, allow some flexibility, allow for those 7 out of 10 days. Because the other thing that I used to do was, if I had created this beautiful spreadsheet with all of these aims and I'd like made it sort of overwhelming, that some days I would be able to do it and other days I might not achieve it. If I had more days where I wasn't achieving it, I start to get a bit defeatist and I'd start to back off and I'd almost give up. And then I'd wait until there was a better time to start my 90-day plan again. Whereas if you make it achievable and you have more win days than you do lose days, which is something that I've learned from Andy Frisella. I don't know if anyone listens to Andy Frisella, but he talks about like his 5 task list. And it's something that we do within our team each day on our morning calls. But if you make it achievable and you have more winning days, you know, that's going to snowball. Yeah, Emma loves him. And that's where I learned about Andy Frisella as well. So make sure that your plan is achievable, but that it's also stretching you and it's going above and beyond where you have been performing. Sorry, I'm just having a look at my notes here. You need to look at your plan. So this is something else that I was really good at. I'd come up with great plans, and then I'd forget to look at it. It's a bit like your diary. Like, you can write lots of things in your diary, but if you don't go and have a look at your diary, the things that you've put in there might not necessarily happen. So it's really important that you go and have a look at this plan each day to make sure that you're doing and checking off what it is that you're meant to be doing. So I talked about I'd spoken to leaders. I went and spoke to leaders in the company that were at the positions that I wanted to be at or above. So I asked the lovely Emma Leyland, who is the PMD within our part of the business, absolutely petrified. She's 3 above me, PMD in the business. I joined the business in a lockdown, so all of the leaders in the business are like celebrities because I've only ever seen them on the screen. But I asked if I could have a one-to-one. And the thing that I really took from Emma that I feel really, really helped me across the duration of the 90-day plan was something that I'd never done before, which was visualization. And this actually, when Jesko was talking earlier about mindset, the mindset is as important as all of the like content and the DMO that you're going to be implementing across the 90 days. It's so important that you've got your mindset correct. So Emma talked to me about visualization. So every single day across the 90 days of my plan, I would shut my eyes and I would think, where will I be sat when I realise that I've hit QNMD? And it was this chair where I'm sat now. How will I feel when Nesh tells me you've done it, you smashed it, like you are QNMD? Like, I've got goosebumps now just thinking about it. And I knew that I would cry. I took a picture of me crying and sent it to Nesh. And I knew that's how I would look the moment that I knew that I'd hit QNMD. I thought about where I would be, like on stage, what would I be wearing? Who would be there? How many team members would I have with me? Like, would they be at the front of the stage? I knew that like Ray, Nesh would be there at the front. I knew that Nesh would be crying. I knew that they'd be taking photos. Like, I visualized all of that. I had that level of detail. So the month in January, when I knew I'd made the decision, it was happening in January. It was the last month of my 90-day plan. I knew it was happening. I had zero doubt. And I had this feeling in my gut. And I could visualize everything. The only thing that I hadn't visualized that they snuck on me was that I was actually going to be talking on stage at the London Excel when we had the event. I hadn't visualized that. That was not in my plan. They snuck that one on me. But it's so important that you do that visualization. That made such a difference to me, honestly. So do take time to go and do that. I've always had a goal board. I set up a goal board when I pretty much started the business. I've come from a corporate background where I've always been about targets, and so goal boards have been something that I loved having a goal board when I got married and when we were saving up to buy a house and what we want our house to look like. So that was quite a natural thing for me. I didn't always look at it, and it wasn't something that was up on my walls. And when you're in a great place, you can pull those goals out of your mind and you can visualize them really quickly. But when you're not in a great place, you can't go and find those things at the back of your mind because your mind's, you know, full of maybe like worries and stresses, concerns. And so that's the time when you really, really need to visually, easily be able to see all of your goals. Like life's quite difficult for me at the moment on a personal level, but my team and like my business and my content on my page, you wouldn't know that. And it's because my goal board is up on my wall. One thing that I did do for the 90 days was that I had 2 different goal boards. So I've got one goal board that looks at like small, medium and long-term goals. And then I had a 2021, 2022 goal board. So maybe think about narrowing your goal board down for your 90 days and think about, you know, when you reach that goal at the end of the 90 days, what is it that's going to enable you to achieve, and have that more prominent and more visible, and just make it really, really clear, because that's going to drive you more. You are going to need to make sacrifices across the 90 days. So for me personally, I never have anything happening at month end. Like, I just don't make any plans. It's my birthday on the 31st of August. I'd been in the business for less than a year last year on the 31st of August. And there is no way, like my family and friends would know, do not make any plans with Kelly on a birthday. Like, let's just put it on like the Tuesday or the Wednesday, because there was no way that I would be available. So it's the same. 31st of August is the end of another 90-day plan for me. No one's going to be making any plans with me on the 31st of August. That day is going to be like invested in the business. And so make sure you put plans in place to be available at month end. And for me as well, like I made sure that my family and friends knew what I was doing. They all know that I'm going for NMD, that I'm not going to be socialising with them as much as I would normally, perhaps. And they know that I'm not going to be as available. And, you know, my family know that I'm going for promotion, and they know that they need to help out a little bit more around the household. And, you know, I've spoken to them. They understand why it's so important and what it means to the family. And so have those conversations if that's appropriate. You might be going for like different, you know, you are going to be going for different promotions to me. So like in the terms of the intensity and the level of sacrifices that you might make, they might be slightly different. But for me, those are the conversations that I had with my family. In terms of doing more, some of the things that I did between SSC and QNMD, I went and got a business buddy. She's not in my strand of the business. She's in a different strand. So we have no financial accountabilities to one another. But it was really lovely to have that different relationship to the one that I had with my mentor. We were both going for the same positions. We had different skill strengths. And so we've been able to learn and bounce off of one another. We set up daily accountability groups for our teams. And that was working really effective to achieve momentum and to generate excitement. We set up a Sunday night success call, which made us accountable, and it's helped me to get out of my comfort zone around presenting, because this is not a comfort zone for me whatsoever. So it's helped me to try to develop those skills. I set up my own team Sunday night opportunity call. So as a wider team within Emma Leyland's team, we have an opportunity call every Monday evening, but we set up our own on a Sunday night. And then I also worked on my mentoring skills and delivering my one-to-ones with the team and improving that skill set. So I think, just to summarise, create a simple, achievable plan. Aim for more sort of 7 to 10 out of 10 days and less sort of 1, 2, 3 out of 10 days. Do visualization, really, really important. Work on your mindset as much as you do your DMO and your content, and praise yourself as you're going along. Like, acknowledge the things that you have done well rather than the things that you think you didn't quite do or that you missed that day. Don't focus and dwell on that. Praise yourself for what you have done, and then more great things will snowball off the back of that. And I think that's it from me.
Kelly, you were amazing. So many amazing tips. Can I ask, Kelly, that was it Andy Frisella you said?
Andy Frisella, yeah. So he's the person that did the 75 hard challenge that Emma done and that I attempted.
Right.
But he talks about the 5 tasks. He's got a name for it, 5 critical tasks. But it's really good. And I love a little bit of shouty swearing at me, I need that. And if you need a shouty swearer that gives you a kick up the arse, then he's a brilliant one for it.
I think we all need a shouty swear.
Yeah, I love a shouty swearer. So yeah, highly recommend listening to Andy Frizella. It's great.
Oh, brilliant. I'm going to go and search for him straight away afterwards. Thank you so much. Guys, pop your top takeaways into the comments. Some of mine were the goal board and the vision board, and having a separate vision board for your 90 days. I think that's a really lovely idea because you can tick off your smaller wins, keeping it simple and working on your mindset as much as you do your business. You're amazing, Kelly. Thank you so much.
Hey, lovely. I think you want me to bring Lisa on now, don't you?
Yes, please.
So we have got the lovely Lisa coming on now to share a little bit about her journey. Lisa joined my team in April last year, and she's absolutely smashing it. She is a QSSC in the business, gunning for SSC. So I'll let her share the rest. Thanks for having me.
Hi everyone. Hope you can hear me okay. How lucky am I to have Kelly as my upline and my mentor? She's just been incredible. So I've been in this business for about 16, 17 months. Before this business, like one of the last speakers, I had no confidence. My self-esteem was rock bottom. I had no family support network locally. All my family live about 2.5 hours away, and I'm a single mum to 2 kids, as well as having 2 part-time jobs on top of that. It was really hard to kind of make the money stretch every single month. So when I'd started on the products, absolutely fell in love with them. And when Kelly approached me about the business, I was just kind of like, oh, do you know what I do? I'm desperate. I need some kind of extra income. And I only joined for an extra 50, possibly if I could stretch it, £100 a month. Of course, that's done way more than that now. I'm QSSC in the business, gunning for SSC. I've had an all expenses paid trip to Mallorca. I've just qualified for Centre Parks. My confidence has just gone through the roof. I did my very first event last week, which was very nerve-wracking, but just something that I needed to do. I really wanted to have something to stretch myself out of my comfort zone. And just having the support of not only Kelly, but Nesh, Emma Leyland, it is just amazing. And I think, like Kelly said, with the 90-day game plan, that is something that I looked at when I went to Harrogate. And again, it was just over 90 days, but that's where, from Harrogate to January, that is when everything changed for me. I hit SC, then I hit QSSC, and then everything has just been kind of, this whole ball of amazingness has just come. And as you can see, my confidence is incredible now compared to what it was. And I'm just so grateful. And yeah, that's kind of me.
Lisa, thank you so much for sharing that. It's incredible to see, like, as you say, your confidence has grown so much, and huge congratulations for everything you've achieved in the business in such a short time. And especially with all the, everything else that's, all your other part-time jobs and your children. So yeah.
I have given up one of my part-time jobs now because of this business.
Yeah,
so.
who needs that? You can give up the other one as well.
Yeah.
So well done. And Kelly, thank you so much. I always absolutely love listening to you. You were on the call the other Thursday night, and honestly, your success is absolutely incredible. And thank you so much for this morning and everything that you've shared. And also, I need to say a huge well done to Sara as well, because we haven't even said thank you to Sara and Lucy. So can you put in the chat, a big thank you to all the speakers so far, because they're just giving us like so many golden nuggets to help us with our business. And we've got our next one. We've got PMD Plus, Ula and Ross Fanari. Okay, so this is, I think, Ross's bio. So I'm Italian but grew up in Australia. My background is in real estate, and after coming to Germany, I found my wife and decided to stay in Europe. Looked into many businesses until the Juice Plus business came our way. We've now been working this incredible business internationally for over 30 years. And Ross is going to share, and Ula is going to share why I'm so passionate about the Juice Plus company. Are you there, Ross?
Oh, yes, I am.
Hi.
It's so exciting, even after 30 years, to listen to you, to listen to everybody. It's a lot of compliment. It brings me back 30 years back, really, when I listen to these beautiful stories and the presentation. It's very, very compliment. I just want to say to James, I'm sorry to you that Ula, she had to go for an appointment with Alessandra, and she's not back in time. So she says hello to you, James, and to everybody in this room. Thank you very much for the invitation, James. And I really love the compliment to everybody that was talking until now. The other day when I talked to, I think it was yesterday, when I talked to James, I said, James, you gave me a reason to talk about patient. I said, how much time do I have? Because really I could talk about this company, this beautiful company, for a long time. So I've got only 15 minutes. I just want to share with all of you that when we started in Germany more than 30 years ago, I think the passion came from the love. You know, the love that we fell in love with Jay Martin. You know, that built this company in the 70s, and then of course we fell in love with the product, and we fell in love with the system, the philosophy of the company to help other people to achieve what they want to achieve, to achieve what you want to achieve. So that's the game, that's the real game. But to tell you the truth, those days when we started, you know, we only had really Germany when we started it, and I didn't speak Italian. I didn't even speak Italian. I didn't speak German. I only speak English to somebody, and then German a little bit to bring people to the meeting. So I used to say a couple of words in German. But those days, ladies and gentlemen, we only had really the phone, a car, and a fax. That's all we had. We had to really send 500 letters to everybody, 500 letters every week to everybody that was looking for a job. So that we didn't have all this privilege. I was looking actually to make my list those days, and James knows about it. We had to make a list of 100 people, and really I didn't have anywhere to go because I didn't know anybody in Germany. So it came to my head to look for the telephone book, and I was looking for the Italians in the telephone book. You know, that's why we opened up the country in Italy, when we had a financial, pretty good financial situation every month. So we moved to Lugano to open up Italy. But I've got the contacts in Germany, the Italian contact. So what I want to tell you, the passion is so strong now that even that, you know, before was very, very strong, the passion and the love, but now is much, much stronger. Why? Because really we got offices in everywhere, in all different countries. We have the production, not only in San Diego, California, we have the production here in Lugano for the whole Europe. When we started, was only 1,000 square meters. Now we got 15,000 square meters of production in Lugano. You know, so we really, the passion got really strong in the love for the company, which is one of the best company in the world, really. When you really think about it, we have the best product in the world, like a lot of people talked about. I mean, the lady that talked about the product, she said beautiful, beautiful things. And we didn't know, we didn't have all these things. We didn't have the foundation of the Children Foundation. We didn't have nothing, really. We had nothing at all. We had no studies, but we really made it. We had challenge after challenge, but the biggest the challenge was, the stronger we became. And we built now 12 countries, a business. Me and Ula, we built 12 countries, business, 12 countries. So it's incredible, I mean, what we achieved. But we only could achieve that by really follow the rules. And the rules were really to share the product, which many people talked about, share the opportunity, which is much better now. It's actually now it's much stronger than before because of the situation where we are, and to have really the possibility to talk to thousands of people every day if we want to, with the with the social media and the technology. We didn't have all that. We only had to do 300-400 kilometers every day to go and see the people that replied to us, by sending this 500. So the passion now is much, much stronger. Why? Because really we have one of the best company in the world, the best company in the world for many, many reasons. The product, of course, that you all know about it, but the marketing plan, we didn't have all this beautiful, beautiful position those days, We only had up to NMD and that's it, with a big, big volume. So the passion became stronger and stronger and stronger. Why? Because we have the best corporate now in Europe. We have a president, we have the corporate, one of the the best corporate we ever had. We have Simon, you have Simon, of course, in England. We have the beautiful office in England, in London, which you all know about. You all should see the beautiful office in London. I mean, we took people there, and the people that came there, the team from Holland and everybody, they came to London. They said, "Wow, this is the Casa Madre," that we call it, the headquarters of Europe, which is incredible. So the patient is going crazy, really. I mean, that's why I said to James, I could talk for hours and hours and hours. I mean, 15 minutes, I can't really cover everything. I think I even gone over the time. But the patient and the love that you have for the company makes you stronger. It doesn't matter what challenge you're going to find. We found all the challenge in the world. We had the worst, how do you say, the still dreamers. We had the worst ones, even in the family, to tell you the truth. But we had so focused. We loved the company so much that nobody could touch our goals. Nobody could touch our dreams. And that's why we became the top earner, really, in Europe or whatever. Doesn't matter that. But the beautiful thing about it, that we achieved the best thing in this company to help thousands and thousands of people in these 12 different countries. The company is in 35 different countries now. And we need NMDs, we need PMDs, we need PMD plus, we need, we need members of the EPACs. I've got 4 at the moment there, but I could have a lot more EPACs. So really, that's what we built in this 30 years. It's incredible. But the beautiful thing about it is that now you could do even better than that. Why? Because of the social media, because of the technology. I love to do Zoom. I probably did 500 last year of Zoom calls with even one-to-one or round tables or whatever. So the patient is so strong because we really can help a lot of people to stay healthy around the world and to help them financially, especially now. With the social media, we really could pull it through these 2 years of the enemy there, the virus and all that. Thank God we had this social media. Thank God we had this technology. And thank God we had people like all of you that really strong, like James and everybody in this call. And we really need a lot of people to open up another 50 countries eventually. So the patient is stronger. We love more and more the company than before, because really we became the best company in the world, because I think God gave us the best product in the world. And we didn't make Juice Plus. James didn't make Juice Plus. Nobody made Juice Plus. I think that God give us this beautiful product and to help a lot of people health-wise. I feel much younger now when I was 45 when I started. So Juice Plus must have did something. But the lifestyle, and you can help other people to have the lifestyle that you have, and help people. They have children, they can't go to work, they can enjoy the children, like our daughter never worked a day with anybody, Juice Plus, and she could enjoy the son, David, 18 years, and now he's in the business. So it's a beautiful thing what can happen. James, I don't know if I cover everything, but I think I did share beautiful things to everybody, and I hope everybody got the message.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Ross, thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. And honestly, the passion that you still got for the business after all these years is just it's beautiful to see. And as you say, all the people's lives that you've changed in all these countries, I mean, what a feeling that you must have from helping so many people.
That's the best. That's the best. Money can't buy that. And when we see people, when I see 4 people this year, I could have more, of course. 4 people in the EPAC, Sara, Simona, Vito, Katarina, in the EPAC, and to have so many PMDs around, NMDs, and really we started because I wanted to go back to Australia. I really wanted to just have maybe some, a little bit extra money, or make some money and go back to Australia. But when we found out the philosophy to help other people to achieve your goals, and then of course we didn't make all this by ourselves, because we found the pearls, we found the diamonds, and I think they're all diamonds in this room, and they just have to concentrate on find the diamonds like them. If they find 5 or 10 diamonds or pearls like them, they can reach to the top like us. And actually, they can do it even better now than before.
Exactly. And especially how you did that off social media is absolutely amazing. Like James is my upline, and he did the same thing. And it's like, us newbies in social media world, we've got all that. So there's no excuses really.
No, not excuses at all. James knows all that. I mean, we had to do 120, 130,000 kilometers every year with the cars. That's why it was incredible, because we had to send 500 letters out, because we want to concentrate on the people looking for a job and looking for business, So we had to send 500 letters out, but then we had to go and see them and travel all over Germany, and then we moved to Holland and Belgium.
And all we do is click.
Yeah, I mean, and actually my contacts, I really got the telephone book and looking for the Italians in Germany. And that's why they took me then to Italy. That's why I found Answer, Vito, and all of them. And that's what we did. But we had to do, but somebody said, I don't know who, about the events. What helped me, especially me, and Ula, of course, but especially me, that I didn't understand the language German, I just learned how to bring people. I used to be good on bringing people to the events, but every day, not just every week or every month, every day. I mean, now we can do the events every day with the social media and the technology that we have now. But those days we had to go around every night to bring people, to let them see and have the big picture of this company. So now you can do. The key for me was really the events. I mean, without the events, I never would have made to NMD those days with a big, big, big volume. And James knows about it in 12 months. I mean, I made it to NMD in 12 months, and I couldn't believe it. But it was a big achievement those days, because the volume was astronomical. I think I don't even want to say the volume, because it probably would make people scared.
Thank you so much, Ross. That's incredible. And so you take it, please invite people to events. Take that as your top tip from Ross as well. Ross, did you have a guest?
Yes, we've got Vanessa on now.
Vanessa, okay. So Vanessa Otto has just won an award in Emma Karen's business. So Vanessa, are you there to share your story?
Hello, yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can, thank you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. And just before I start, thank you so much to everyone, all the speakers. This call is amazing. And I had all these plans. I was going to get up and I thought, okay, I'll start the call. I'll do the washing up. I'll tidy up the house while the call's on, and I'll listen. And then, I'll speak on my bit. But I haven't been able to move. I haven't been able to do anything, just notes and notes and notes and pages of useful information. So thank you so much. And thank you, James, also. So just to give you good morning, Stephanie. Just to give you a bit of background, now I actually joined the business in April 2018. And it was at a time where I had been on my own health journey. I'd gotten into sort of exercising, moving around, paying attention to my foods. But like anything, our journey goes up and down. So I got to a place where I was just overworking, working so much, much little to no investment in myself. I would run myself down regularly, and I would, be sick, get flu, those sorts of things. So my friend invited me to an event. It was an event here in Bristol, and it was amazing because for me, it was I was moved by how much people had changed their lives, not only financially, but just in terms of mindset, the level of gratitude that they had. I was moved, and I thought, what is this? I didn't really understand too much about it. So I got on the berry capsules. My hair, skin and nails was important to me at that time, as well as energy levels. I had amazing results. This is prior to when I cut off all my hair. So I did have some good hair results with the berry capsules. I then got onto the shakes, which was amazing. For me, I had problems with protein shakes, like stress-induced IBS, that sort of thing. So the shakes worked really well for me. I often missed meals, so it helped with that, as well as kind of my exercise regime. I started to lose a few pounds and that sort of thing. So for me, these products were amazing. But one thing I will say is, even as much as I was moved at the event, and had great experience with the products, I hadn't really set my mind in terms of what I wanted from this business. And that actually didn't happen until 2020. So that's one thing I think is really important, is make a decision as to what you want from this business. What do you want it to look like? It's not always just about positions. What do you want to get from this business? What kind of environment do you want to create for yourself, your customers, your team members, and yourself, your family? So I did that in 2020, and it was following 2 moments of redundancy from my full-time job. And I realized, I have something here where really I get out exactly what I put in. If I invest in it and do what I need to do, I will see the results, and no one can take that away from you. No one can take this business away from you. No one can take the progress away from you. So that's exactly what I did. So I hit my SP promotion in April 2020. I get mixed up with the years because of how long we've been in lockdown. So I hit my first promotion in April 2020, and that was an amazing moment for me. One, because I had little income. I was made redundant, and I'd recently moved into a new flat. So what that meant is I could use the bonus as well as the commission to do things like get a new sofa and get things for the house. And a lot of us are moved by a lot of things, but for me, it was about the income to be able to create an environment for myself and my life that I wanted, and that was an amazing thing for me. Of course, consistently continuing to work on the business, and things that have worked really well for me. Everyone has given such useful tips and information. For me, the most important thing has been planning my content. Life gets busy, and in the moment we want to be present. Sometimes we don't always necessarily have time to think of an inspirational and an amazing post to put. So for me, I worked a lot on making sure I created time to plan my content. So what that meant is every single day I've got 3 to 4 pieces of content that I compose that I've already pre-planned, so that I am consistently putting stuff out there. I prioritize my own health journey as well, which is very important. People seeing what you're doing with the products, how they're helping you, how amazingly they're making you feel. Prioritizing your health, you're leading by example. You're showing people, look, this is what I do, this is how I live, this is how the products are benefiting me. You're speaking to so many people with your posts, with your stories, coupled with your conversations in the inbox and things like that. It creates it makes it easier. It creates kind of fertile ground for people to be interested in what you're doing. So of course continued working, and I hit my second promotion then in November 2021, and that was my SC promotion. And again, it came from the same mindset, consistently showing my health journey, consistently putting content out there, consistently creating time to build relationships and speak to people. But the most important thing is setting my mind. I got to November 2021, and it was 11 days before the end of the month, and I messaged my upline and I said, do you know what, I want to go for my promotion. And she said, Vanessa, I was thinking the same thing. You should go for it and you should do it. And in 11 days, I got my SC promotion. And that to me was an amazing achievement, because it showed me when you set your mind and you actually decide, you leave little room for doubt, and you do what you need to do every single day, it does happen. Somebody said to me, oh, you know, it's okay if you don't do it, we can do it next month. That was not even an option for me. It was going to happen this month. So when you set your mind and you back it up with the relevant and correct action, it happens. And again, that was an amazing thing for me. So consistently every single month, I bring in a good amount of customers, and it's simply from doing exactly what we need to do every single day, every single month. A lot of people have said it before, showing up, creating time just to plan, even if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes, however much time you have, creating time to do that. So the award that I won for July was simply an incentive that we had running, but it was an accumulation of all the work that we've done. I think Sarah said it, the work you do now shows up in 90 days time. So even when you're not seeing the results straight away, you keep going, because it does happen and it does come back around. So for me, I'm now sort of gunning towards and working towards my next promotion, which I'm super, super excited about, which I know will happen before the end of this year. So yeah, that's just a bit about me.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Vanessa. What an incredible journey. I love hearing about what the business has done for you, and also staying consistent for the next 90 days. So huge well done. Thank you so much. And how amazing was Ross as well? Can you believe they used to send 500 letters a week? That's scary. We are now going to move on to our last speaker of the day. I am so excited. I'm sure you guys are too. I am a huge fan of Emma Seddon. So just a little bit about Emma. She joined in March 2013. She was 39 Club in August 2013. She was PMD in October 2013 and 100 Club in January 2014. So pretty crazy year. And Emma says that for the first time in her life, she's doing something that matters, that makes a real difference in people's lives. She's been able to release herself and her husband from the chains of the corporate world, providing her children with parents who are present properly in their lives every day. And this is only the beginning of their story. She said the most exciting part of her mission is to help other people every day to create the same lifestyle. And she says if she can do it, so can we.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have no idea what time it is or anything.
Just out, yeah.
Always. I thank you so much for the introduction, Sara. What an amazing morning, like such fantastic speakers. I love these calls. I think they're fabulous. I wish we could get more people on them. So my task for you is to make sure that the next one of these, which we will know is the first Saturday of whatever next month is, September, like it's always the same time, always the same thing. So like make sure that you're talking about like what you've learned, what you felt within your teams and your sidelines when you're on calls over the next few days, so that people can put it in their diary now, right? You know when it is. Because they're always really good, and we always get loads of top tips from them, and I love them every single month. So thank you guys for like showing up every single month. I think it's amazing. The other thing I wanted to say was right at the end of Ross speaking there, he said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you started this when you were 45.
Yes, I was 45 and broken, like Jeff, broken way down.
Love that, right? Because I'm 45, so I feel like I've had a 10-year warm-up.
Because yeah, 45, and I was really no chance to open up a business, and for me was the best thing that happened in my life.
Amazing, thank you. So the reason I wanted to say that was because quite often I think that we think this is a young person's business, right? Because it's so social media driven these days, like, and you see like people on Instagram and people on Facebook, and they're in their like early 20s and they're doing this, that and the other, and I know if I was looking at this now for the very first time, there are certain things that I might see and think, well, that's not for me, that's a young person's thing, that's something for people in their 20s, people who don't have children, people who don't have a job, maybe people who have no commitments and other things going on, and please know that that's not necessarily the case. It's amazing that it's for everybody, right? I love the fact that people who are now 18 were like 8 when I started this. So all the 8-year-olds that I wasn't sharing this with 10 years ago, now I can share it with them, right? But also I'm still sharing it with people in their 30s, people in their 40s, because I know for me, when I came across this age 36, it instantly gave me the opportunity to dream again. For me, I'd started to live my life a little bit through my children. You know, what did they want to do? What did I want their life to look like? And I remember sitting in Tesco cafe with John in Bury, and he said to me, what do you want to do with your life? Now, bear in mind, I was a 36-year-old busy working mum. I had a corporate job. I was successful at that, fortunately. My husband had a good, successful job. We had a nice house, nice car. I was living my life as far as I was concerned. You know, I was very busy, time poor, all of those things, but I didn't even know that because everybody was like that. So when he said to me, what do you want to do with your life? I remember thinking, in fact, I said, what do you mean? Like, I am doing my life. This is it. Here we are. You know, I'm climbing the corporate ladder and I'm doing. And he went, no, like, what do you really want to do? Not what are you doing? What do you really want to do with your life? And it was honestly the first time that anybody had asked me that since I was like 16, maybe 17. You know, the careers advisor at school. What do you want to do with your life? And actually, it's a great conversation question. It's a great opening question for when you're talking to people offline, even. You know, and you're thinking in your back of your mind about offering the business opportunity, but asking people what do they want to do with their life when they're, you know, in their 20s and 30s and married and working. And it really made me think, oh, well, actually, maybe there is something out there that I could do. Maybe there is something different. It just sowed a seed, I suppose, in me that maybe this was what I was doing age 36 didn't have to be what I did forever. Because once you've got a mortgage and bills and children and all of that stuff, it's harder, I suppose, to what people perceive to be taking a risk. You know, it's harder to do that because people are relying on you. Like, it's not as in your when you've got no children and no home and no mortgage and no job or no like career job, it's easier to go, do you know what, I will just travel the world, or I will just do this thing, or I will just do an online business, and it doesn't really matter because the only person it's going to affect is me. As you get older, when you're talking to people about this business, and they're older too, you know, and they may be late 20s, late 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, it doesn't feel like it might be something for them. So that just when Ross said that he was 45 when he started, I think that's amazing that you can build a PMD plus business and you didn't even start till in your 40s. Cheryl Cortese, the same. She was like late 30s, early 40s, and she's the highest earning female distributor in the world. Started this business a little bit later in life. So please don't think either for yourself or for other people that you have to be an Instagrammable 20-something to be able to be successful at this business. Anybody, and this is the beauty of what we offer people, right? Anybody can do this, online, offline, whatever. And we're so fortunate. People like Ross, people like James, people like Alex and Gordon, and all of these people have created that longevity security for us. So when people are thinking like, oh, is it a fad? Is it a risk? Is it, you know, we've got these people who have kind of trodden the path before us. All we've got to do is, you know, walk along behind them. Like every problem that you have, every lull that you have, every question that you have, all of those things, somebody's been there before. Like somebody's worn the hat before, somebody's worn the coat before. Everything you struggle with, somebody's struggled with before. So really make sure that when you have those moments in your business where you struggle a little bit or you're not sure about something, reach out to people, because I promise you, I don't even think there's a question I haven't been asked before. I've only done 10 years, not 30, but there's, you know, everything that you go through in this business, which we all go through it, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the challenges, the questions, the self-doubt, the everything. And I remember Alex saying to me once, this business is like your real life, but under a microscope. And he said, everything is magnified. So the successes are huge. Like when you hit a promotion, it's huge. When you're on stage, it's huge. When you have your first customer, it's huge. When you bring in a first team member, it's huge. Everything is magnified. So conversely, when you have challenges or you lose a customer, it's huge, or a team member leaves, it feels huge, or somebody's horrible to you and challenges you and it feels huge. So everything is like under a microscope in this business. So it's because it is so, like, 40 years squashed into 4 or whatever, everything is magnified, because you can change your life in 5 to 10 years with this business completely. Like completely 360 degree, completely different life if you want to, which we've heard some stories about already. So to do that, obviously everything is magnified. So try and keep it real and understand that even when things are amazing, that's great, but it's not forever. And when things are horrendous and challenging, that's also not forever, right? It just feels magnified at that time, and it will pass. The good stuff will pass and the bad stuff will pass and life will go on, but you've got to keep staying consistent in your business, right? Consistently showing up, turning up, all the stuff you've already heard about all day. Like, you've heard tons of top tips, and I'm not going to go over them all again now. Tons of things that will help you to be successful. But you can go on all the training calls, you can listen to all the other people talking about their success. But the number one thing that's going to make you successful is the activity that you do or don't do. It doesn't matter how much I tell you, or Sara tells you, or Ross tells you, or Kelly tells you, or anybody else tells you about what you should be doing, or what I'm doing, or what they're doing. It's what you do that counts, and only that. You can't control what your team do. You can't control what your prospects do. You can't control anything in that like that. You can help and you can advise and you can create and you can inspire and you can hopefully motivate. But really, our own success comes down to our own individual activity every day. And that's it. And your own individual activity every day, that's what will create momentum in your team. That's what's going to create other people saying, oh, well, Emma's doing that, so I'll do that. Emma's on that call, so I'll get on that call. Emma's at that event, so I'll go to that event. Conversely, Emma's doing nothing, I'm going to do nothing. Emma's taking a week off to go on holiday, I'm going to take a week off to go on holiday. And the negative knock-on effect of that is huge. So I'm going to share a story of 2 Augusts for you. So I shared this with my team the other day, so apologies for those of you on my team who I do a 9:30 call every single morning for my team, and I shared this story the other day, so you might have reheard it, but it's still beneficial. The story of 2 August, because we are here in August. So it's 2013, and there are 2 people in the Juice Plus business. Let's call the first lady Julie, because that was her name. So Julie is the sales coordinator. She joined in February 2013. She's got a pretty decent sales coordinator level business going for SSC. And it's August, it's the school holidays. It's challenging, kids are everywhere. They're off school, hubby's off work. So he's like kind of giving her a little bit of jip about being on her phone and, not being available. He's irritated with her. There's so many distractions everywhere. They've got a holiday booked to Mallorca, family holiday, fantastic. 2 weeks in Mallorca, brilliant. Everybody's looking forward to that. So it's difficult to do all the stuff that she was doing. So she decided, do you know what? I'm just going to take a couple of weeks off. I'm going to step back from my business just for a couple of weeks. I'm going to go on holiday. I'm going to immerse myself in my family. I'm just going to be very, very present, all of which is fine. I'm going to be very present. I'm just going to take a little bit of step back from my business. So she missed some team calls. Missed a couple of one-to-one. She'd been doing a one-to-one with her upline every month, every week. Didn't do that. Didn't really show up. Posted a little bit on her social media, but nothing to do with business or product. Just a little bit of family holiday kind of photographs. So she didn't get any orders that month, and she'd normally been getting sort of 5 to 10 a month. Didn't get any orders that month. Obviously, didn't bring any team members in that month. Lost a bit of momentum. Anyway, came back from holiday. It was a couple of days left. Kids were going back to school, so didn't really get started on anything at the end of August, and was like, do you know what? I'll just get going in September again. It'll be fine. I'll get going in September again. Back to school came along. End of month came along. Realised she'd missed a PB. First time ever. Excess wasn't quite enough to get her over the line to hit PB. So for the first time ever, didn't hit PB because she hadn't had her own orders that month. Kids went back to school. But Julie had kind of lost the vibe, lost the mojo, and was struggling. Got on a team call, realised she'd missed some crucial information. She'd missed a couple of things that were coming up. Felt a little bit like, oh God, like I don't feel like I can I don't know, she just lost a little bit of the motivation. She had holiday blues, felt a little bit challenged, wasn't able to get going again. Some other people had stopped working in her team as well. A couple of people that were going for partner plus or senior partner had just not really hit it, because she'd stopped working, they'd stopped working. Anyway, suffice to say, it petered away and petered away and petered away, and Julia is no longer with us, right? Julia never stayed. She was really close to SSC at that point, or pretty close anyway. But that decision to just take a step back for a little while had a knock-on effect of actually just losing a modal, losing the vibe, and losing, it's like trying to catch a wave when you're surfing, just lost the wave and never gave it another go. So that was one August story. Here's another August story. We'll call her Emma, because that's her name. So Emma joined at the same time as Julie. In fact, Julie was in Emma's team. Emma joined at the same time as Julie, got to August 2013, had a pretty decent SSC business, a good team working, very busy, kids were off school, you know, all of the same challenges that Julie had, right, around husband, you know, bit in the ear like that, everybody wanting time to do this, and we need this, and mum wears that, and holiday coming up. But business was really good, and she was really committed to growing and had really big, clear goals about what she wanted to achieve. So when August came along, the decision to actually step into her business more was the decision that she made. It's me, I was make it easier. I decided to step into my business more. I realized at the start of August that I only needed, I think it was 8 more clubs to hit 39 club that month. So I needed 8 more people in my team to hit PB for me to hit 39 club as an SSC in August 2013. So I had the holidays, I had the husband, I had the challenges at home, I had the kids, I was still working full time in a 100-hour-a-week corporate job, but decided rather than, and it's like a sliding doors moment, I could have easily gone, do you know what, I'll do it in September because there's too much going on, but I decided to step into my business more instead of out of it. I did exactly what Kelly was talking about, and I spoke to my family and I said, this is what's going on and this is what I need to do, and made very much up a decision. Still went on the holiday, right? In fact, we were on holiday. We booked a week in the Lake District, which sounds like not that much, but a week in the Lake District was like, we would never have been able to afford that last week in August. It was about £1,500 just to hire this house in the Lake District for us. And it was month end, and we decided to do this. And if you've ever seen me on stage, I talk about my little boy's hand being like, he came over, we stood by a lake in Windermere. So I was working, but I was also familying. So we stood by this lake in Windermere. My little boy was 3, he's 12 now. And I remember standing there and he put his little hand in mine, like it just unprompted, beautiful moment. I can still feel it now. I put his hand in mine like that and just squeezed my hand like that. And I remember looking down at him thinking, that little hand is going to be a big man's hand really soon. And I'm missing all of it because I'm at work all the time. I'm missing, like, I don't even take him to school in the morning because I'm at work. I don't pick him up from school at night because I'm at work. And I really, really remember that so clearly, that moment. And that was on that holiday in the Lake District. And I remember at month end, when the kids went to bed, they used to go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock back then when they were little. And my husband sort of pottered around in the house, and I was like working. I had my phone and my laptop, and I was like contacting everybody and making sure everybody was doing everything they needed to do. And it was like, you've got 32 clubs, 33 clubs, 34 clubs. And it was like, oh my God, like people trying to get everybody over the line, making sure everybody else, you know, when you help your team to be successful, you'll be successful, right? That's how it works. It's why it's so fabulous. Simon was ringing me. Liz Hockley was the only person in the office back then. If you remember, we didn't have the big fancy office that we've got now. There was basically Liz and Simon. So everybody was kind of messaging me and making sure, like, I knew what I was doing. Did we know who was close? Adding up everybody's orders manually on like a piece of paper. Because I really, really wanted to get that 39 club that month. Even though I had all the distractions that Julie had, I was so committed to that goal. because it wasn't just the goal, it was the freedom that was going to be able to give me, to be able to be the following year. I wasn't going to have to work like that. I would be able to just do Juice Plus. I would be able to be there all the time for my kids. I'd be able to go on a foreign holiday instead of a Lake District holiday. I wouldn't have to go back to work. All of these things were all ticking over in my mind. I wanted to be able to take that little boy to school myself instead of dropping him at childcare. Like, all of these things were the reason that I was like working like a Trojan. And I remember my husband patting me on the head at one point at about 11 o'clock going, night, I hope you do it. Like, so funny. Like, not going, oh, you need to come to bed, or we need some family time, or we need date night. Like, screw that, right? You can have date night forever when you hit the goals that you want to hit. Like, right now, this is about creating a future for yourselves. So that was that. And I remember got to the last thing, it was like clicked. And I'll tell you a funny story. I didn't realise at that point that my own PB didn't count for my clubs. So I thought I'd done it because I had 39. And then Simon like, no, yours doesn't count. Your PB is a club for John. I was like, what? So you need one more, like your own doesn't count. So I still had to go through all the team, find somebody who was close, speak to them, try and encourage them over the line. It was that close. And anyway, we weren't sure, as you never are, month end, right? It's like, have we done it? Have we not done it? Oh my God. And we went out on this little day trip with the kids, and some little tiny train up in the mountains, and my phone was going in and out of signal like all the time. And I was like, oh my God, Liz is going to phone and I'm not going to answer and I won't know. And we were on this tiny little toy train, and my knees were, I was sitting like this, and the kids were opposite us. Molly was 6 and Shay was 3. And anyway, a tiny bit of signal for like a minute. And I spoke to Liz and she went, you've done it. You've done it. You've done 39 club. No one in the world has ever done 39 club at SSC before, ever. And I burst into tears on this train, like absolutely, because you know when you've worked so hard for something, burst into tears. And all I remember is Molly saying to Mike, why is mummy crying? Why is mummy crying? And he said, it's okay, it's good tears, it's okay, it's good tears. And it was so worth it. Like, even now, that's this month 9 years ago, it's so worth it. I still feel every emotion. I feel all the hard work. I feel every decision. I feel the pressure of, like, you know, the pull from your family and the pull from your business and the pull from your team and the pull from yourself. I feel all of that still. And I feel, but my children even remember that moment, certainly Molly anyway. And it was so worth it because I didn't make the decision to take a step back or have a little break or go, because I wanted it so much. And that month I also went QNMD at the start of September. And the following month, in October 2013, I hit NMD, IMD, EMD and PMD all in the same month. That's how much my business grew, because I got to work all the way through. Like, I worked always in this business, but particularly in August. We were not a million miles apart, myself and Julie, in terms of our businesses at that point. But look at the impact that what seemingly an insignificant decision might be, to just not show up a little bit, to just not do that bit of work, to just not, whereas I made the decision to just do. And it doesn't sometimes feel like that big a thing. There'll be people didn't get on this call, we're like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll watch the recording. They won't watch the recording. They won't get around to it. It'll be too many distractions and they'll have missed all the stuff that you've got, all of the decisions that you guys made. Of course, there's 100 other things you can do on a Saturday morning, there is. But when you make the decision to show up, this is the knock-on effect of these things. These are the stories, these are the impacts. So I wanted to share those two things with you because they can happen to anybody, right? The little decision that you make to watch Netflix instead of getting on a call, to not go to the event because you can't afford to get there. Or if you can't afford to get there, it's the reason you need to go. That's why you need to get there, or whatever it might be, right? I totally get it. But for me, that month in August 2013 changed my whole life. That decision to work and not take a step back and not to, holiday for a while, changed my whole life, changed my family's life, changed the future that we have, changed the future for my children, enabled me to have a completely different 8 years after that. I resigned from my job about 2 weeks later. I was able to retire my husband from his full-time job about 3 months later. We were able to relocate to another country. All of these things happened because I got to work or stayed at work in August. So please, like, when you're looking at the next few weeks are challenging, I know that. Don't wait till September because you just don't know what might happen in August if you really get to work. And I promise you, if I can do this, you can most definitely do. Every single person you've heard from today, and I mean this with love and respect, they're nothing special. That's why this is so fabulous, because we're all just normal. All of us are the same, but with different challenges and different, qualities. But this business, whether whether you're tall, short, fat, thin, old, young, whatever color skin you have, whatever sexuality you have, wherever you live, anything that you have going on in your life, it doesn't matter. You don't need any experience. You don't need any special qualifications. You don't need a big bank balance. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need to really invest anything. It's incredible what we offer people. Where else is that a thing? Where somebody can just start today with no training and nothing. Just start today and create something fantastic for themselves in the next 6 to 12 months, 4 to 8 years or whatever. Like, that's what we offer people. So I'm wrapping up for me just by saying, be really, really, really proud about what we do every day. Be really proud about what we offer people. We change people's lives and we help them to change their own lives, right? I remember my mum saying to me when she was really skeptical. I had tons of skeptical people in my life, and this is my last thing I'll share with you. I remember saying to my mum, like, Juice Plus changed my life. And she said, well, yeah, but you did it really. She said, you changed it. Everybody has that opportunity, Emma. Not everybody takes it. She said, they gave you the opportunity and you took it and you changed your own life. And I'm giving you that call to action, every single one of you. Take this opportunity and use it to change your own life, and then offer it to other people and let them change their life too. And that's it for me.
Oh, wow, Emma, absolutely incredible as always. Guys, please show lots of love in the comments for Emma. Like, I just really, 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 really love that. And just crazy what you achieved in such a short space of time. And I love that you just, mentioned the fact that it seemed at the time, seems like such a small decision, but the huge impact that it had on the coming months and years, just because you said, I am staying focused this month and I'm not getting distracted. So thank you so much, Emma, as always. Inspiration to us all. And I'll just add on that, I'm not going to say too much because Emma's just blown the roof off, but I have been Julie. Can anyone pop a comment in if you've been a Julie?
That's what I want you to ask. I said that to my team. I said, you need to decide now, are you Julie or are you Emma? So every day you can share that story with your team if you want to go every morning. Are you going to be Julie or are you going to be Emma? Because it's a really easy decision to make like that, but the impact is huge. So yes, I've probably been Julie myself a couple of times, but honestly, being Emma was way better in every way. But yeah, don't be Julie. Or Julie. Apologies to any Julies on the call.
We've got Julies on the call. Sorry, Julie. No, honestly, guys, I have been Julie. Sorry, Julie. And I've taken my foot off the pedal throughout the summer holidays, and I've been, been to the barbecues and had the cocktails and took my foot off the pedal. And then, like Emma said, you're just chasing it. September, you've got to get your head back in the game. You've got to pick it back up. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. And it's such a struggle. And I, for one, have made that decision this year that I'm going to be an Emma, and it's not happening regardless of what's going on in the house with the family. Keep going, stay consistent, and show up for your business every single day. Because of what we do now is going to show up this winter and this Christmas. So thank you to Emma. Thank you to Ross. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Jesko. Thank you, everybody on the call today. Thank you, Sue. It's just been amazing, and just showing up as well, not just if you're a parent, showing up for everybody, but if you are a parent and it's the school holidays, special well done to you, because it isn't easy. We know that. I've been throwing snacks at my kids. That's not a joke either. So huge well done to everyone for showing up. The content's just been amazing, and James, every single month pulls these calls together with the most incredible speakers, so thank you so much. And you know what, I don't know what you guys are going to be saying to yourself every morning, but I'm going to be saying to myself every day at 5 a.m, today I'm going to be an Emma. Thanks so much, guys, and have a lovely August.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.